Okay. Welcome back to the MP podcast. I'm your host, Mariah, creator and founder of Mastering Progress, the brand, and I am so excited to be here for another week of the podcast. I am prepared this week. I have all my notes right here. I promised, and I'm delivering. So we're note ready, which means the episode's going to be even better. And whew, this week is we're gonna start talking about one of my favorite, not favorite things, but favorite things, men. I I love my men. I think they're great. They're funny. They bring, a simplicity to life in more ways than one. Simplicity. But for me, they are a big part of my life. I I don't even know. They're just everywhere. Okay, so we got to deal with them. But when it comes to relationships and stuff, I think before we even dive into uh them, we'll talk about me because that sounds bad, but it starts with you no matter what relationship you're in. And for me, a huge thing is that I am very masculine, not just looking, but hold on a second, because people are like, your arms, they're so muscular. Sweetie, I those are genetics, half of it, because if you look at my photos as a kid, there's like this V here that's always been there. Since a young age, that V has been there. So that is not me. That is just genetic. So thank you to mom and dad, whoever you are. The genetic, ooh, ooh. But now they look a little bit bigger because it's a little bit fast. So we're just working on going back down to our natural state. Anywho, besides that side of the masculine, um, I have a lot of masculine energy and it's grown. I can promise you growing up, like, I didn't have that, nor did was I taught to have it. I was taught to be strong, I was taught to be independent, I was taught to be stubborn. But I was also taught, like, you're a girl, you're a woman, you're strong, yes, but you're a woman, you should be taken care of, which I still wholeheartedly believe. Um and also that there are things that you shouldn't have to be doing, um because, like, I have my dad or I have my brother, but I shouldn't need to be so strong, and I didn't have to be that strong. All I had to do was dress up and show up. That was nice. And then as you get older, obviously there are more responsibilities and more things you have to do, especially when you don't have a man in your life, which um I don't at this time and for the past few years, but also I was very blessed in my longest relationship to have had someone who was very masculine, and I thank God for that. And who showed me what true love is. Obviously, we fell out of it, we grow up, we learned from it, but that's the type of relationship I know I want. But since then, and since losing that kind of masculine energy, I've now grown it myself. And so for the past, I want to say, like 3 or 4 years, I knew I could only depend on myself. I had to figure it out myself. I had to stand up for myself because no one else was doing it. I had to make sure everything was okay and also think about not only my safety and think about how it's going to affect me, but how situations and being out in public and, like, oh, you got to think about, like, the exits. You got to think about who's approaching you and why they're approaching you and how you can deal with this situation. You have to think about, oh my gosh, this person's stupid, did something, and now we have to react. We have to think about I'm a girl in this situation and they don't know how strong I am, but um and so the whoever's I'm interacting with might do something stupid, which means I need to know how to handle that. Um and I've been mistreated by so many many men, and some of them I let linger on for too long. I And so in return, I've created such a masculine energy where I just have to be strong. I have to be thinking about everything, business, this and that. And I think girls should know how to protect themselves. Girls should know how to um, be financially responsible, but I don't think it should have to be their main priority. And I know people are gonna be like, you can say whatever. This is what I'm thinking. This is how I was raised, and this is what I believe. Girls should just be able to be girls. And I just want to be a girl. Like, I don't want to have to think about all this stuff. I don't want to have to go out and be like, oh my gosh, I have to be on defense at all times because I have no one else to protect me. I have to protect me. I have to think about all of this stuff. I have to be the one who has to pay for everything and take care of everyone and do this and do that. And I can't just be my natural self of I just want to nurture people. I am so mean because I have to think about everything and be the responsible one and be the person who's taking care of everyone. I am so mean. I am so mean. Okay. But that's not natural for me. Like, I like to be able to be just nurturing and fun and like, oh my gosh, let's just go do it. I can't do that. No, I can't do that. Um, and part of the issue was because I was building such a strong exterior and I was building this like masculine energy. When, as a woman, when you have masculine energy outside of business, I think it's important for us to have that masculine energy inside of business because we need to play with the big dogs and keep it going, and it is what it is. But when you have that masculine energy outside of business, you attract weak men who want that masculine energy uh towards them. I don't even know how to say it. They want the masculine energy and that's what they want in their lives, and they're like, "Oh, this woman has it. That's who I'm gravitating towards." Literally all the men in my life, besides my family, and most of the men in my life are my family. All the men in my life were all weak. They weren't even men. Sorry. All the boys in my life were weak-minded boys who didn't know how to lead, who could not figure out their finances for themselves, who literally could not, like, they can't be by themselves. They don't know how to handle themselves. They don't know how to go out and when I think about it, it's disappointing because I'm like, wait, why was I surrounding myself with these types of people? But all of this to say, like, I had to be the person who took the lead, who planned everything, paid for a lot of the stuff, made sure, like, okay, let's think about the situations that we're in and make sure we're safe because we weren't always safe. And there's only one who actually didn't do that. And he knows who he is. I will say one of the most compatible for me, like, we butt heads, but that was because I didn't know how to let go of my masculine. If I had let go, oh my gosh, the power couple we could have been. Oof. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, most of the men in my life, boys in my life, were weak, not leaders, not providers. And in turn, they knew I was going to do it. So it was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm obsessed with you. Yeah, because I'm giving you everything you're not. Of course, you're going to be obsessed with me. And then when I'm like in the presence of the guys who do have the masculine energy, there was one in the past few years that I felt like I could just be a girl. I could let go. That I want to let go all the time? No, which caused issues. But like, that was nice. We need to get back to that, and that's what I'm realizing. So I did cut off all of those weak boys. I did, and I cut them off within the past week. So bye. Um, I also don't know that I don't think they know that I did that. I cut off one a few months ago. He didn't know, but like why I cut him off, but like he took offense to it. And honestly, I've been just working on letting go of having to show that I need to be stronger than men, because I don't need to be stronger than men. I That's not what I was put on this earth to do. And I think that mentality switch actually opened a lot of internal things for me personally. And I think it's important for girls to understand, like, yeah, it sucks. The dating pool and the men pool right now sucks. But there are still some of them out there, and we don't need to just put this wall up all the time. We can let go, especially like if we're going on new dates, which scares me. Um, don't start off with the masculine energy. It brings on the wrong type of guy, and we don't need that. We want someone who is going to replace our need to put up anything and have to be on defense mode all the time. We don't want to be on defense mode. It affects us hormonally, and that is a study. That is true. Us having to be masculine affects us hormonally, and it is not good. It is not healthy for us. So, just saying. Um, and I am back to the I just want to be a girl. I always thought it was so wrong to be a feminine and to be just like I always felt guilty to want to be feminine, and I am coming back into the no. I want to dress up. I want to look good. I want to go out. I want to feel good about myself. I just want to relax. I want to go out and have fun, and that is okay. I can still be a boss at work and be in my masculine energy when I'm running my business and running my and working and find that balance between masculine and feminine in that world. But when outside of that, it's okay to just want to be a girl, and it is okay to like girly things. It's fine. It's okay. I am just a girl. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. Um but yeah, I think a lot of us girls nowadays have to are feel like we have to be in our masculine energy all the time, and we just need to stop and be like, no, I can be a girl, I can be pretty, be smart and independent, and find the man who's going to balance me out and be my protector and go from there. um so yeah, that was my little spiel for today about men and myself. And we'll dive more into it next week. And until then, I hope you all have a great week. And as always, just keep on thriving.